Hello everyone and welcome back to another Power BI tutorial. Our today's video was requested by one of our members and they provided us with this dataset of employees and their bonus payments. And today we are going to evaluate this information using Power BI. So the scenario is that every employee is welcomed with a joining bonus, but if they exit during the same year, that joining bonus must be recovered from that employee. So today we are going to evaluate the payment and recovery of joining bonuses to employees using Power BI. So let's go ahead and open Power BI desktop application and we will start with importing the Excel file where our data exists. So this is the list of bonuses during the year. So let's load this, and now we have our data loaded in the data pane and we can use this data to create our dashboard. So to evaluate this information, we need two pages. On page 1, we will evaluate payments, and on the page 2, we will evaluate recovery. And to navigate between these pages, we will insert navigator buttons and we will place them here. And we can also go to the view tab and we can select a theme here. So I have chosen the Copilot default theme, and now we can add a title using a text box visual. So now we have title of our dashboard and we have navigation buttons. So let's copy these to page 1 as well. And now we can navigate between pages using these buttons. And now let's add a card visual. And in this card visual, we will add employee names as count. And this will show us number of employees. Let's make sure its width is 312. And let's place this visual here. And now we can copy this visual and paste it 4 times like this. And we can resize this navigator to look more visually appealing. We can also copy these tiles here and do the same to these navigation buttons and the title text box. So now we have identical design on both pages. Now we have number of employees here. Here we will show number of active employees. So let's change this to active, and in the filters let's add a category and select live. So out of 14 we have 16 live employees. And in the next part we will again add category, but this time we will choose FNF. These are the employees that have exited from the service after full and final settlement. So we have 4 employees that are gone now, and we have active 6 employees, and we have 14 total number of employees during the year. So let's change this to exit employees, and in the final card we will add net payments. So during the year there were 149K of net payments. And now we will add a column chart to show the payment history during the year. So let's add payments on the y-axis, and let's add month name to x-axis. However, these month names are not actually uh, understood by the Power BI. So we can add another column named month name, and here we can use the convert function to create a date. So let's add 2025 dash and then month and then dash 01, and we will also tell it to convert it to date. So now we have a proper date time which have months. So it doesn't matter what date there is because we only need a month. So in the format we will enter M three times, which means month name. So now we have actual months. These month names are understood by Power BI as months, unlike these months, which are just text. So let's replace the month field with the month name field. And now we can see that there are years and quarters as well because these month names are understood by Power BI, and we can properly analyze and display this information now. So since we do not need year or quarter, so day as well, so there are months only. And these are the payment history of employee bonuses. And now we can add a pie chart or a donut chart to display the total number of employees by category. And now we have our first dashboard, which displays total number of employees and total payments to those employees and their payment histories as well. And now we can go ahead and create a dashboard to analyze recovery data. But before creating any visuals, we need to add some columns. We have the payment column, which shows both positive and negative payments. So let's split these payments into positive and negative payments, and let's add a column named paid, and let's use a if formula. If payment is greater than 0, then payment, otherwise 0. So we have only positive payments here, and we can add another column named recovered, and in this column we will show payments that are less than 0, which means payments that are in negative. So we need to show these payments in positive as well. So let's multiply these payments by -1, and now we have amounts paid and amounts recovered. And now let's go back to the report view, and in our card we will show amount paid as payments, and then we will show recovered as recovery. And now let's get back to the report view, and in our first card we will show the amount paid as payments, and in the filters we will add category and select FNF and stop pay. So basically these employees need to pay back the bonus they have received during the year because they have exited the organization or they are about to exit the organization. Live employees do not have to pay back, so we are only showing the payments that need to be recovered. And in the next card we will show the amounts recovered as recovery, and again we will add category and we will select FNF and stop pay. And in the next part, we will show the uh, amount remaining. So we will select payments because these will display net payments. And if we use the category filter and select FNF and stop pay, it will show us the remaining balance. So which is 5,000. 71,000 has been paid, and out of that 71,000 we have recovered 66,000, and 5,000 is still remaining. So this is the recoverable amount. And we can go to the table view and we can format these numbers using this comma button, and now they look much better. And now we need to display the recovery percentage, and for that we need to insert a uh, new measure, and we will call this measure percentage, and we will divide the sum of recovered by sum of paid, and this will give us a percentage. And let's add that percentage to this card, and in the filters we will select the category FNF and stop pay. So we have 93% of recovery percentage. Let's call it recovery percentage, and let's format these numbers as percentage. Great, now we have recovery percentage in our dashboard. And now we can add a column chart right here, and we can display month name in the x-axis and amount paid and recovered. So now we have historical data of payments and recovery during the year. And finally, we can add a gauge chart and display the data of percentage and format it as percentage. And then we can add category to filters to display only FNF and stop pay. So now we have recovery percentage as well as the historical data of payments and recoveries, along with cards showing payments, recoveries, recoverables, and recovery percentage. And with this, we end our today's tutorial. Let's hope you have enjoyed this tutorial and learned something out of this. Have a nice day and have fun with your Power BI learning.